Check 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are back. Welcome back, everybody. You made it. You made it. Give it up for yourself. You made it this far. Yeah. You came to some strange event in a strange place to hear some people you may not have ever heard speak their spoken word before. Yeah, if you want to turn that down and then turn the white knob down, Carla, that'd be great. Thank you so much. So what this is a spoken word event. And for me, I been doing spoken word since 2002. But like, when has anybody officially been doing spoken word? You know, since you were born, right? And I started when I stumbled into the Irish bar, Kieran's. And there was a young Southeast Asian man on stage, and everybody was on the edge of their seats. And he said, the only time they see the light is when their houses burn. And all these white people in the audience just lit up. They're profoundly like low-key offended and engaged. And it wasn't just the white folks, it was everybody in the room was just affected by this man's words. And I was just like, holy shit, what is that? I want to know how to do that. And I've been acting, I've been doing Shakespeare, I've been doing this, that, and the third. But I'd never seen anybody do that or say that like that. And it was Bao Phi. Bao Phi was literally one of the first spoken word artists that just inspired the soul out of me. And so that's how this all started. 3 National Slam poetry teams later, open mics, impromptu pull-ups to elected officials' houses to do poetry, power protests, a lot of things later, here we are. And so I've written some new stuff, and the thing that I wanted to do was I didn't want to fall off the horse and not be writing ever again and not be sharing it with people ever again. And so this is kind of the start. This is the first draft of a lot of things. And so this is what you're hearing today is the first draft of a lot of things. So you may hear some stumbles, some hiccups, you may even see some tears, but that's just what comes with like first drafts. Like you're getting to know that writing and you don't really know who the hell that writing is. And so as you get to know them, it starts to really work its way through your body in weird ways. So let's see how this goes. Without further ado, I want you to repeat after me. I went to a really magical place with, I don't even want to explain the whole story because it's so long, but it's in South Minneapolis, and it's just a bunch of elders and champions is what the terms are. And it's just black folks that have been through, seen through, lived through so many things, and then they just sit there with empirical wisdom and just bestow it on you. And you just sit there and shut up. And this is some of the affirmations one of the elders gave me. So let's repeat after me. Today, I know and love myself.
Today, I know and love myself.
I am my own best friend.
I am my own best friend.
I am a mirror of creation.
I am a mirror of creation.
I am not a fool.
I am not a fool.
I am not foolish.
I am not foolish.
I am respected and respect others.
I am respected and I respect others.
I am my own best friend.
I am my own best friend.
Some of y'all were smirking as we were saying that because you probably haven't said that to yourself in a long time, and that's okay. But when you start to do this, God, magic happens. It's crazy. Also, I just want you to repeat after me. It's okay.
It's okay.
To cry.
To cry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
To cry.
To cry.
All right, let's get started. Welcome to the West Bank, where these buildings have been climbing since they told us not to love ourselves and called the truth a liar. Since they taught us the songs of colonizers in choir hour and told us that peace and prosperity was the only cargo on the Mayflower. These buildings have been climbing since the bridge fell through, since MPD turned hell loose, since not being careful felt cool, since saying I love you felt like an open rebellion. These buildings have been climbing since black women tried to tell you. And I've been in it, even when I'm out of it. Feeling down, undone, and doubted, surrounded by these government errand boy outfits, throwing counterfeits, grown man children hiding behind the next loudest Kevlar jersey, cut to military grade, police union pride in exchange for your mother's shame. Because you know she wanted better. You shielded your heart when she tried to tell you the truth. You shifted shoulders and rolled your eyes when your grandmother tried to speak to you. So the ancestors resorted to whispering in the night and awaken broad daylight just to get through. They don't want you to make the same mistakes that they made. Slave trade, no knocks, red line, lynch mobs, Jim Crow, black codes, bets off. If you want it, you can come and get it like my tax dollars, and I will give it back to you quicker than you'll know how to feel about it. Because I'm a child of the plaza, wax poetic scholar, runaway minimum wage slave, white collar problem. Your honor is a disgrace. Paid to hold court on your home court and so forth. I do not testify. A pox upon the whole floor. Do what you think you need to do. Bring all the hoods, badges, and squad cars. We can sort this out right now because we got a fire in our hearts and bottles that your water and watered down policies can never put out. Watch black skin get prosecuted to the max and then the judge cry for Kim Potter and give her nothing but a wrist slap. The same things that'll make you cry will make you laugh, and right now the DA's doing stand-up. There's a noose in the cabinet. And somehow black freedom's always hanging in the balance. And you can bring all the hoods, badges, and squad cars that you want. And we can sort this out now because there is a fire in our hearts and bottles that your watered down policy could never put out. You see, I'm a child of the plaza. I carry the name of Toussaint Louverture, who led a successful slave rebellion. I speak with the tone of Mel Reeves, who would strike fear into a fascist with his mouth closed. And I'm the son of a black man from Detroit, no explanation needed. I'm a child of the plaza. Wherever you're from, whatever you've done, wherever you're going, doesn't matter. You're not alone. And these buildings have been climbing since you felt that. And right now we're standing beneath where a bridge used to be. And tonight we're gonna build back. The bridge extended from the plaza to the other side of the street until one day the city came by, tore it down with the hopes to disconnect two communities. But if there's anything you know about yourself in this city, you can never disconnect the people. So welcome to the plaza, where there are no visitors. You belong here. Thank you. I'm not very organized up here, so you'll see me just throwing around papers and doing whatever here. That was supposed to be at a show at Palmer's, but the outdoor show just didn't feel like the vibe to start doing slam poetry at Palmer's, you know, so I don't know. So this was the first time I performed at the People, so there we are. Anybody worked in education here at all? Okay, thank you. Thank you, seriously. You've worked in education, Christelle, come on now. Yeah, you've educated people. Maybe in this room, when nobody was expecting it. So I worked as a paraprofessional and after-school mentor for some time, and thank you. And this poem is about a student I work with. Obviously, I changed all the names, but yeah. They pay me money to work with children in a classroom. And I'm trying to remember that as much as possible while a 4-year-old named Stid stands on top of a table brandishing an adult pair of shears like a shiv, threatening to cut me or Miss Jenny if we come any closer. And surely this isn't for notoriety. Everybody's already left for lunch. So I safely presume it's because he is notorious, like the papers that came with him said. Sid Fleischman, pre-K, 4 years old, parents freshly divorced, has been kicked out of 2 schools already, diagnosis, blah, 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 term, and has a history of violence in the classroom. So can somebody please tell me, in the name of Bob Lane Saget, who left out the adult-sized pair of shears next to the one child that clearly has no problem brandishing them like Frodo's ever-made sword? And that must be why they called me. To pay me money to work with children in a classroom. As the paraprofessional, the kid whisperer, the last resort to a failed connection between student and teacher before said student gets punted down the line to some scared straight, no-nonsense Judge Judy Citadel for pre-K. Pre-K. Pre-K.
Yeah, right.
I barely understood the physical mechanics of how to throw a softball, let alone how to brandish an adult pair of scissors correctly. Yet, Here we are, staring into the eyes of the liger. And if anybody makes a wrong move, me or Miss Jenny, somebody's gonna get cut. Somebody's gonna get cut real deep. And I know he'll do it. I know he will. I've known Sid before I was assigned to him. Before we even took our first time out, walk down the hallway. Before I even met him. You see, when somebody truly doesn't give a fuck, they don't say it. They tell you with their eyes. They wear the reckless abandon in their joints. The you have no clue where I'm from and stagnant eyebrows. The motherfucker please in the lower half of their jaw. The you have no clue where I'm from and their silence. The domestic high decibel discussions taught you the art of interruption. When somebody isn't listening, and the sharp shift in tone gave you new bullet and balancing non-negotiables. Sid, watching grown adults grow verbose over a dinner table while your brain is still developing will teach you a lot of things way too early. Surely observing can't be the right word for it because observers can walk away as far as it takes to dissociate. They weren't locked in a high chair, forced to watch their maker separate. We didn't watch the house burn. We caught fire along with it. And trust me, Sid, there's nothing in that pair of scissors that can put your parents back together again. I know because I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried until my blood ran listless, laughing in the face of detention to making makeshifts, vacations for suspension, to setting flames just to see if the fires could climb high enough to burn the heavens. Damn, man, you remind me of you. So, I toured with the band a lot. And we would go to Wisconsin a lot. Wisconsin seemed to like us. I don't know why. They came out, man. They showed up. And I went to a particular town. I won't name it until this poem, but I wrote this poem called Toussaint 2007, and it essentially was it was essentially me talking about my time on the road. And so it was like Toussaint 2017 speaking to Toussaint 2007. And it was like, hey, all these things are going to happen. You can do this better in life. You can do this better in life. Yada, 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 yada. And then I say a remark about Wisconsin. And it was just not, it was like, yeah, okay. How do I say this? It's like, yeah, you staying up till 4 a.m. with these people, they dig you, but they're probably just there because of the drugs. And I said that, and everybody was doing drugs. Like, all I did was drink, and I don't do any other kind of drugs. So I was like, how are these people staying up so late? And my body just kind of like does homeostasis with other people. So like, if I'm out in New Orleans and I'm like just with people like talking, I'm like, yeah. Oh shit, the sun's coming up. Wow, what happened? So like, I just like adapt to whatever's happening. But some people heard this poem and they were like, hey man, we actually digged your music when you coming down here. How dare you tell us that we were just hanging out because of drugs? Even though that was part of it. And I was like, yeah, that was a dig. I fucked that up. I shouldn't have said that. That was disrespectful. Let me like try to amend that. So here we go. Passivity hath no conviction like a car riddled with gunshots on a Saturday morning. Passivity hath no form like a fist clenching at the murmur of disrespect from across the room. Passivity hath no place in Racine, Wisconsin. If you have time to be nice for the sake of keeping the peace, then maybe you overvalue peace. Or maybe you got a little too much time on your hands. I get it. You don't honk your horn because it's a means to confrontation. And somehow somebody taught you a long time ago that confrontation is a bad thing. So you've now convinced yourself that, hey man, you got to keep the tiger in its cage. Because if it comes out, you might go over the line. And you don't want to cross that line. And somehow that's worth your doctor sitting you down after every single checkup to talk about your blood pressure like he's addressing an intervention to a gambling addiction. The sunken cost fallacy of a damn near lifetime of TMJing the words back into your skull, omitting the truth, forced cackle to save somebody's bad joke, smiling to safety net somebody's feelings, and desaturated answer to keep a conversation from colliding with a well-deserved awkward silence is physically killing you. Every poke, prod, and prick is pushing you to the edge of the line that you don't want to cross over because you don't know if you're ever going to come back. But you know what's on the other side of that line? Racine, Wisconsin is on the other side of that line. Racine doesn't ask for forgiveness, doesn't ask for permission. Racine doesn't ask. Racine just does. Inauthentic civility hath no sentiment like a threat with a baseball bat just before bar close. Inauthentic civility is for all are welcome here, plastic placards placed on freshly fertilized front lawns in front of households that have no black neighbors, maybe some black coworkers, and I promise you, no black friends. Plus, who says who is welcome here? When did that happen? Are you the gatekeeper of here? Do I gotta ask if I'm welcome? I don't own the land. Hey, look. Who says who is welcome here? So the sentiment goes without saying. You belong here. Pull up a chair. Let's talk about it. How's your blood pressure? New Jersey coined the phrase, only the strong survive, to which I believe Racine, Wisconsin coined the question, what the fuck is survive? Is that what happens after the divorce is over? Is that what happens when the bleeding stops? Is that what loosely translates to, fight's done, let's take a breather? Let me give you a redraft. Racine, Wisconsin, only the strong. Not survive, not lives to fight another day. Because either you're here or you're not. So if you're in the city, you understand that there's a war going on. So no, I don't got time to dick around and talk about the weather. I gotta take that shot, tell that person I'm sorry and I fucking love them, and then make the best with the little time I have on this floating rock, because at any point in time, you can get got. Snatched from consciousness from a right hook out of a blind spot, and or eliminated from this earthly existence over a glare, gesture, debt, drink, drag, snuff, puff, snort, blow, drink, whatever, over a legacy of sustained squeeze on the poor to sustain their status as poor. Yeah, the segregation here is as advanced as it is in Minnesota, but at least we talk about it. And the classism is as visible as houselessness, but at least we acknowledge it. And the drinking is as copious and binging as any bar in Wisconsin. Yeah, because that's the state we're in. Not far from Chicago, where Elizabeth Kubler-Ross did a fair amount of her research and studies as a psychiatrist. In her book on death and dying, she introduces the 5 stages of grief. And I'd like to think she based that last stage on Racine. Anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and then us, acceptance. Acceptance that this life may be the only one you ever get.
Yes.
All right, we're butchering some of these, but that's okay. We're just gonna get through. We're powering through. This next one, if I can find it, it's right there. I never met my dad's dad or my dad's mom. It's a shame because there's like some people, you ever get those questions when people are like, who are 3 people living or dead you'd have lunch with? And everybody says like some wild and crazy, like, you know, dead celebrity. And I'm like, dude, I want to meet my crazy ass grandpa. I heard that cat was crazy as hell. I just want to sit down with him, see how crazy the crazy was. Like, I just want to chop it up. I mean, there's also something amazing about people that have like lived like several lifetimes that are weathered. And my dad's side of the family is from Detroit. And if you know anything about Detroit, it is a place that is, for a lot of people, a no-go zone to this day. And it is for black people throughout the 50s and 60s, it just was otherworldly. And so there are entire portions of the city where just life just does not, it just ceases to exist. And it's not due to anybody's choice, it's due to just systemic neglect, white supremacy, and just redlining the shit out of the city. And so it's a fascinating place. Going there in July for my aunt's 70th. But and when I go there, I've never seen so many corduroy suits. I mean, bruh, I'm talking the the collars are just like, you could stab a man with it. They are pointy down to here. I gotta give me some corduroy suits, man, okay? Let's see how this goes. In the final 30 days, my white grandfather was alive. He was a sugar cube in hot water, slowly dissolving under the gravity of Lou Gehrig's. Embedded, bedridden, and imprinted onto a hospital mattress, he would roll over to my grandmother and he would say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have treated you better. I'm so sorry. Like an incantation to hopefully undo or amend the irreversible, I imagine he was speaking those words to my grandmother as much as he was speaking them to himself. And because he had the privilege to know he was going to die in just days to come, he had the otherworldly power to look her directly in the soul and give her the full-bodied truth. On the deathbed, man, I don't know if I'm going to have regrets like that, but I will love you like that. See, because I come from a long line of men that gave the world their liver and their lover their hearts. They knew that to finish a race, they would have to do a song and dance just to start, and that making things right sometimes came with the price of mastering self-sabotage as a habitual art. Stubborn, beautiful, crazy men. And I'm different, right? I'm gonna be the one to turn this whole thing around and steer it off into a pristine blue sky. And as the credits roll, right after, smiles careen across the faces of audience members, they'll say, what a great love. What a great guy. And what if I'm not? What if I can't? Even worse, what if I won't? Then how'd you like me now? Burdened to burdened streets, police with cops in rehearsal to snatch me, standing between the shaken earth and the fallen sky, swimming in the veins of the beast with the hands of time. Can't make a decent lover if I can't make it decent alive. I got acts of affirmation and words of service, and they ain't even on the list of love languages. I just want to give you things like safety, reassurance, the promise that I'll be consistently 5, 10 to 15 minutes late for everything, including my own funeral. Love, respect, laughter, joy, and me. That's worth something, right? In the final 3 days, my black grandfather was alive. He walked with Jesus, and he sat at the dinner table with Banquo, with the promise to the family that he was through with drinking. But little did they know, you can be through with booze, but that doesn't mean it's through with you. Whether we muzzle flash or fade slow, he was at least able to show he was capable of resisting the poison that taking hold in the end. You see, we all got a certain amount of drink tickets in our lifetime, and he had run out over a decade ago. Now, I don't want to be that late with you, but I will go out with conviction. You see, because I come from a long line of broken windows that don't mind will never be put back together again. Because there's more pride and authenticity in being a pile of jagged, pretty pieces closer to our roots, sand, than to be made into a whole slab of glass from somebody else's image to complete their house. I come from a long line of people that are flawed, destroyed, raped, murdered, monetized, suffocating, but yet still clawing, curdling to hold the next person just a little bit higher. I may not be on time for you, but I will die for you. Don't wait for me, because I'm already here. I'm unfinished. All right, this one is a little less emotional. This is the song that I'm going to do a cappella. So I got a new album coming out, and yeah, I would right here, and then I go out and take walks, and I go out to 15th Avenue. And in the fall on 15th Avenue, there is a beautiful thing that occurs. Like the trees just like, I mean, they like melt into these yellows and reds and oranges, and then they kind of like, when it's like in the winter or the summer, you can't really see it because it's just all green, it's all like monotone. But in the fall, they just like, it just looks like flames are going over 15th Avenue, and you're just like, oh my God. So I wrote this song, and then we filmed this music video outside of it over the course of a year. Thank you, Max. And it's snowing, let's get the shot. And so this is what the song was about, and it's conducive to this space and whatever. Here we go. Looking in her eyes, I can tell someone is there, but who that someone is someone that we both fear. The magic turns to panic, to vanish and reappear, and as soon as the havoc is settled, there's nothing left to rebuild. The sunlight doesn't fade, the nights don't go away. Time doesn't exist in a world that dissociates, and I just landed on her home planet with hopes to build a family, and now that's looking as likely as Gambit letting go of the gambling. New Orleans taught me how to smile. Yeah, I gotta honor that while I'm alive. These are codes of the Crescent City that'll forever live with me, and I gotta stand by them, even if it's on a planet without gravity. So although I'd love to stay and stand on the promises that were made, there's nowhere left to stand when you've run out of promises to break. So while I float away, don't worry about those clouds. In due time, without fail, the sun will for surely come around. You see, I know this place. I more than recognize the rain, the torrential downpours, and sideways winds on a clear day. I've been here, I've lived here. Matter of fact, I was raised here, and it's for those exact reasons that I could never stay here. When you're born into emotional warfare, it's not war. At the time it's being taught, it's just the way things are. Your brain gets scarred to blame and guilt charged to the name they named you, till you believe you're all the bad they say you are. Believe a lie and leave the light. You'll see the sky is only repeated plight for the sun to leave your sight, which leads to why you trust no one, why the love feels foreign, and why each and every single morning feels completely disconnected from the former. It tells a story I've heard too many times over and could retell all the way down to the encore performance. Packed up the chords and scales, headed out of orbit. Without fail, that new sun was right around the corner. Okay, so we're gonna do a little thing, a little audience, interaction. And if you don't have rhythm, it's okay. We won't notice. Just don't participate. It's all right. It's all right. I don't know, people were rhythmically created equal. I said that last night, and I just said it again. I was like promising myself I wasn't gonna say it, but so we're like last night we got loud with it, but today we're just gonna like. I'm trying to think. Should we snap? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe snap, but snapping that long, that's gonna fuck up your hand, man. Would you like to snap or like clap lightly? Clap lightly. Yeah. Golf clap. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna cut you guys, okay? And then I'll do my thing, and then I'll bring you back in, and then I'll cut you again. It's that simple. Okay? We're just gonna come in twice. So here we go. I got momentum like I'm downhill, rolling on a stolen bike, killers on the loose, holding bars how you hold your life. This is action by example, my nigga, no advice. Know yourself, know your enemies, and know your vice. If you skated down, well, I'ma have to skate on it. Another Wiley Morrison mixtape, I wouldn't wait on it. You afraid to talk about it, I would put the bank on it. I'ma say it loud, homie, I'ma put some stank on it. Yeah, gotta mean 1, 2, and thrice. Hit you with the Bobby Bold, near than the Van Slyke. You heard of the third base God like a crack pipe. I'm on your feed next to hashtag about last night. Whoop, straight out of Detroit. Ricky, leave your history department unemployed. Big voice, black man, still soft spoken. Got the top down, volume up, bumping Beethoven. It's already in motion. Don't know why you in a hurry. These cold hearts wanna go Bogart like Terry. Till cooler heads are willing to fill in with fatal theories, and somebody's loved one is leaving out on the journey. Now I ain't seen it all, but I've seen enough to know you can't play the hand that you never let go. All these motherfuckers wanna talk about is what they hold, but if forgiving ain't a given, then you gotta fucking go. What's up? They wanna know my name. They wanna know my name. Yeah, first step, parlez-vous français. Oh, the wheels down, they in their fields now. And if they question where we headed, motherfuckers look up. They wanna know my name. Yeah, they wanna know my name. Woo! First step, parlez-vous français. We got the wheels down, they in their fields now. And if they question where we headed, motherfuckers look up. Holy roller overdrive, we out here like the Cobra Kai. Stunting the summer year round cause the southern sun don't seem to wanna die. Time portal through your whole life, normal looks like overhype. Play blind time roulette, I'll show you what the future's like. I might slide through on a light cycle, throw deuces high enough school rivals. I don't do mild, I don't do idols, I'm a too wild voodoo child. New child, this new file, make them say what, who now? Get your bell wrong like a quick on college textbook at the school's out. Yeah, bless ourselves down. Niggas saying nothing like something mezcal. Say it with your chest, I don't got time to read the text. Now they see me in the field, so now they calling for the check down. Tell the mayor, don't forget the promise is supported. Like the city, brighter than the Whoville 40. or a Cindy Lou. World order too hot to ignore what I'm talking. All seasons down to Tippetina's, hallelujah, good morning. Your side work, keep the bar stocked. My side work, fill the car lot. We merrily in solidarity, then I blast off cause I'm a Star Fox. This our street, this our block, no Paul Blart, strip mall cop. Give a fuck what you think with this city on 10 men unlock. No rest for the wicked when they discount your sleep number. Just before you visit loved ones, they put into a deep slumber. I am the love, the BP in my heartbeat. Keeping it a grand, out here flying with the Starfleet. They wanna know my name, yeah, they wanna know my name, woo! First step, parlez-vous français. The wheels down, they in their fields now. And if they question where we headed, motherfuckers, look up. They wanna know my name, yeah, they wanna know my name, First step, parlez-vous français. We got the wheels down, they in their fields now. And if they question where we headed, motherfucker, look up. Right, I got, and thank you to Bree for bringing the beer through. Thank you, Bree. Hey, we're the first black female brewers in the damn state. What you even talking about? A black excellence up in this, bro. Yeah, a whole bunch of black excellence in here. My goodness. Okay, so I just wrote this one. And, I don't got it memorized, so I just wrote it.
You're super organized.
Super organized? Yeah, I don't know about all that. Kind of. I don't know. Define organized. Okay. And I'll just say this. I said this beginning. I don't have kids yet, okay? I'm not married. It's going to happen soon. We're manifesting it, whatever. And then you kind of just like put that out into the ethers and just kind of fall back and you're like, that shit's going to happen. Who cares?
Yeah,
But I said the first line to Carla, and Carla was like, Toussaint, I think that's illegal. And I was like, well, it's a part of the poem, it's a joke. It's kind of like, I'm not going to actually do that shit, but like, let me talk my shit, man. Come on. I'm the type of dad to step on the school bus in the morning to let all of you students know that I'm Mr. Morrison. What's up? And I received good evidence regarding something said to my daughter on this exact bus that really hurt her feelings. So I figure this is a perfect opportunity for us to get to know one another, and it would behoove all of you to know that I do not mind reintroducing myself every calendar school day until I don't have to. I'm the type of husband to pull up to an arts festival and buy out several dealers. Due to my infatuation to surprise you with earrings made in East Cincinnati, a mirror with "Rock You Like a Hurricane" screen printed onto it, and a wallet that says "Bad Motherfucker." I'm the type of son-in-law to carry a conversation with your father about knee replacements, Excel spreadsheets, suburban mayors, and that one time he told a candidate to get the fuck off his front line while clasping a low ball of whiskey in broad daylight. You see, I listen because I'm genuinely interested in how that scenario plays out. I'm the type of lover to research that insanely unlikely, probably don't have it disease you think you have so we can talk about it. I'm the type of brother-in-law to have your chemo days locked into my Google Cal and pull up with the poster outside the hospital window that says, "Let's go, champ," while blasting the Chicago Bulls entrance theme music. I'm the type of father that will chaperone every field trip possible. Because low-key, I want to go to the Science Museum too. And bowling with bumpers is fun, man. And where else are we gonna play Turtles in Time on a 4-player arcade outside of a roller rink, all right? I'm the type of friend to let you know there's something on your mouth. Actually, no, it's like the corner of my, that's like a little more to the right. No, it's still there. You want me to get it off? I'll do it. I'm the type of son to write a poem about you. I'm the type of son-in-law who doesn't bite his tongue at the dinner table and will respectfully challenge that really bigoted statement your uncle just made, echoing an old InfoWars mega rant, and I'll wait in the intensity of the awkward muted moment and then crack a joke to kill the tension, let everyone take a deep breath, but then wink at your uncle to let him know that I'm about that life and that smoke if he ever wants it again. I'm the type of dad coach that will channel Al Pacino. Because parkboard football to my kid is any given Sunday. And I just want them to know life is about 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. But I look around here. I see these young faces. In 3 minutes, till the biggest battle of our amateur lives, either we heal as a team or we're going to crumble. I'm the type of son that's still healing from our beginnings, talks about you in therapy, and knows that you did your best. I'm the type of grandson that misses you every day and is writing you salutations in my mind every single sleeping and waking second. I'm the type of friend to speak with you at the grave and share cranberry juice with you, because when you told me sobriety meant life or death for you, how could I dishonor that after you've gone? I'm the type of grandson-in-law who will never remind you, you already told me that story, because you and I both know what's going on. And how lucky am I to hear your beautiful memories and stories more than once. Max, I'm not going to make you proud. I'm sorry in advance. Yeah, just bear with me, Max. Come on. It's going to travel countries. It's not even going to be consistent. I'm just giving you that right now. Yeah, it's going to happen. No, it's just bugging me. One of my favorite supervillains giving a high school commencement speech. I remembering, not the actual memories, but the act of remembering, the feeling it would give me in my hands, my heart. Most times I forget these feelings, and then there are things or people who remind me. My wife, Valeria. My eyes fall upon her. My blood, it runs so urgently and bursts. I begin to bleed through the scars. She pierces her way to the inside of me, reminding me there is an inside of me. She is sorcery. She is magic. In some ways, she reminds me of my mother. Or what I would remember my mother to be if I had memories of her. Everybody has a mother. And most everybody has memories of their mother, yes. I do not. I am not most people. You see, somebody took her life when I was a baby. Years later, as a young man, I built something. Classmates would call it the machine to speak with the dead. No. It was a phone to call my mother. I've built many things. I've invented many machines. I've made entire cities disappear, moved large parts of planets. I could not make this phone work to speak with her, to ask her questions, to learn about her, to possibly figure out why somebody would want to take her life. Can you miss a person you've never met? Can you long for a home you've never been to? Can you make vows to a code you do not yet understand? Who you are should never fear or indict who you are going to be. The future loves the present just as death loves life. And if you catch on quick enough, you'll learn no force of nature or law of physics that has been defied or broken was ever a law or force to begin with. They were just words a world taught you to respect. There is no power in confining people. There is power in making people confine themselves, to fear a choice, to adapt a limitation, to accept a perceived safety or comfort. Gravity, space, time. You respect these words. As a motherless child, you are raised by the truth that there is no victory, there is no peace, there is no light. The strong do not always survive. In the words, good, evil, and justice are duplicitously relative to no meaning at all. And people who do not understand this truth will fight to their own death to defend their own delusions, and they will say, you mean the world to me. And there is no greater lie. This world is cruel. The universe is crueler. And of course, they will have you believe that they are worth defending. If someone is important to you, would you not say, you mean you to me? And together we are greater than this world. And I would break it and all who inhabit for you. Let no one permit mistaking the truth. Let no world permit mistaking who you are. I have been made into many a title, none of which were his mother's son or the son of Cynthia. Although it would have been great feat in speaking with her, there is great truth in knowing she walks with me every day. All of our unknowns walk with us, whether we are mindful of them or not. Ray Kerr. Yeah. There's a friend of mine who he caught on right away. He came up. He was like, I know who you're talking about. But Ray Kerr, I'm gonna give you this poem. This poem's for you, buddy. Yeah. Oh man. And everybody else who's out there in the streets for those times. The city came by today. Said they wanted to talk about putting pavement over your slain son's grave. They said enough time has passed and the neighbors are starting to complain and they got to do something soon before they start running out of grace. They're running out of something. Some was saying justice inshallah, but this ain't about a faith, and I don't know how much time has to pass before you don't feel guilt for celebrating the day. I don't know what to say to a city, man. I don't even know what that would look like or how that would even sound, seeing they were the ones that put your son into the ground. What do you negotiate for a life already stolen? What are we ever going to exchange that's going to reassemble every shattered piece back together? After what they did, what could they possibly offer that would give you sleep? I don't know. I'd probably be doing the same as you. Brain barely awake, staring off into space, dead eyes, unconcerned with time, with a blank slate for a face. You know, I've heard about the killers who smile while they kill, but this is the first time I'm hearing about killers who kill while their faces keep still, and then feed the press to say that that dead black man fit the bill. Editor's got a page to fill, and he doesn't fact check the killers who just killed, so they get to shooting words into a dead man's character that wouldn't even carry weight in the rumor mill, and I get it. They're afraid of our names more than they are of us alive. And they hope that when they take the body, the name will die in time. But if they can't get you bodied, then they'll assassinate your character with stories that never happened, but they'll sell it as the narrative. And by the time you think you finish fighting, they'll revive a past disagreement out of the archives and light it on fire online and watch it metastasize into something it wasn't and someone you're not. Regardless of which side they think they side with, if you and I switched, they'd be picking a fight with your son. I'd be in the grave and they'd be out here dragging your son's name, which goes to show you, regardless of where they stand, they value us more when we're dead than when we're... The city came by today, said they wanted to pave gold and paint your slain son's name in bold over your slain son's grave. Pay homage to the life that they claimed. Honor the body that they maimed. Memorialize that black man they called nigga up until his dying day. This city loves me not. Oh, let me count the ways. Insidiously insane city-approved celebrations of the dead, police cocked and aimed at the life. Accountability bills branded and billed in the names of those that they've stolen. The end of qualified immunity nowhere in sight. Several million civil suit dollars to wipe their hands sterile in the same day they criminalize us for protesting and taking part in the fight. They don't want you to scream when they stab you. They don't want you to name the brown bodies the land fills. They want you to settle for a glass less than half full. Shut up, stand still, and take this public execution like Emmett Till. And they do it because they know some of us will. Behold the stage, the board we were born onto, the pieces they think we are, and the rules we never asked for. In their game, we can't win. We can never win. But we can feel like we're losing less when we edit ourselves to make white people feel comfortable. You see, your son and I would code switch to speaking the King's English so they wouldn't feel threatened by black boys becoming black men, because we are the reminders. We are the living proof. We are both message and messenger. We are the children of the ancestors. City came by today. They said they forgot your slain son's name. I said, that's why we keep filling these streets and shouting it, so you'll never fucking forget. I did not plan on getting that loud, but there that goes. You just let it go where it's gonna go. All right, this is my final one. Over the course of the past 3-4 years, and this just is an element that happens with life. People pass, and I know that a lot of you have experienced people passing, moving on to the next, whatever you believe in, no longer on this earth, and you are 1,000% not alone. You're not alone, and there's no handbook on how to process that shit, man. There just really isn't. and I've seen people process it in different ways. Self-sabotage, just being lost, denial, as we talked about with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, bargaining. But this one is about a certain person in my family, and his fate was oddly similar to a friend of mine who passed away about a month ago. But yeah, this is for Timmy. Most childhood heroes you look up to because they're taller than you. And you're shorter than most people as a child. So aside from all adults looking like giants, your childhood hero most likely looks like a giant as well. And when you're 4 years old and your parents just separated less than a week ago and you don't know what the hell is going on because your mother packed your sister and you into a car while your dad was at work and relocated to Minnesota from New Orleans at bank heist level speeds, the imaginary friends, gotta be real with you, they don't all hop in the ride on that one. Some of them are like, hey girl, heard you're going to Minnesota. We're gonna stay here. Have fun with that. We love this for you, but we'll see you when you come back. And really at that juncture, any adult with a mild sense of modern fashion or a glint of confidence could serve as my childhood hero. So, upon my mother's return to Minnesota, we went and visited every single relative. And at this next stop, we visited my second cousins, the Brandles, in the ginormous suburb of Woodbury, where the houses tower like castle log cabins grazing the clouds above swirling streets seemingly made for go-kart tournaments. You couldn't hear a single police siren. You couldn't hear a single sputtering engine aged over 90,000 miles. And the basements, carpeted. God, what is this strange, new, sterile and cold white world? And upon entering the suburban safehold, white people hovering 3 feet above my head in gleeful homecoming, I make a break for it from the roundabout island in the kitchen, sneak off the beaten path, curious to colors flashing and flaring from a room down a distant dark hallway. Somebody blaring a cartoon soundtrack and projecting a kaleidoscope onto a damn wall? And this is the moment. This is the moment you'll never cut, burn, or drink from your memory. I'll be in a nursing home, 70 miles staring out of a window, and still be able to recall the minutiae detail of it. A light show, the bursting out of the room, like nuclear activity emanating from something. I turned the corner. There he was, hunched over a magical device connected to a box of sorcery by some means of a future cable, with the whole apparatus pumping living color into a television. What's up, little dude? I think he said. There he was. One of my first childhood heroes. Skin a shade pale golden and blonde curls twisting against gravity. He looked like Adam Warlock with a mullet. If you don't know who Adam Warlock is, he beat up Thanos like he stole a package or something, and then he saved the whole damn galaxy. And a mullet in 1987 was only the second coolest thing to happen that year. Second to the Minnesota Twins winning the World Series. So on a scale of 0 to Michael J. Fox, he was pretty fucking radical. Timmy. Said his name was Timmy. And then he handed me the magical device. The man paused his joy and gave me divine power beyond a 4-year-old's most feral imagination. Timmy introduced me to my first video game experience. A gray box that translated to leave your future in the hands of fate in Japanese. And by the old gods and the new, I wielded that Nintendo power like a fresh addict. He taught me that you don't need to jostle the controller up and down to make Super Mario jump, you just gotta hit the button. And he told me that a one-player game, if you're playing it with a friend, you gotta share. You can't play it by yourself. For a 4-year-old brain to be able to commit colors and the agency to move them around on a television to memory, that's pretty damn cool. And that's something that a childhood hero would show you. But today, now, more than twice Timmy's age, when I met him that night, I look back at it and I just don't think hero is the most definitive word for him at that moment because he handed me the controller. The memory is cool, but the act and lesson in sharing never dies. That's what makes Timmy more than a hero to me. Makes him a legend. And you know what they say about legends. And today, although it may feel like a one-player game, and even if it is, I promise you, I promise you, you never have to go it alone.